Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I am so excited to have a great show for you today on Zoom. I'm Zooming again. It's all about the new play Uncertainty to be held at the Sandwich Town Hall on April 21st, 22nd, and afternoon of the 23rd. I'm so excited to bring these folks to you. So come along. Let's have another Cape Conversations. Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I'm on a Zoom tonight. I'm so excited to get everybody together that's in part of the cast of Uncertainty. I had to do a Zoom. So I'm Zooming my way into your home, and I can't wait to have you meet all these people. And the first person I want you to meet, and she'll raise her hand so you know who she is Heather Pennell. Heather, raise your hand. There she is. And the second person you're going to meet is Kathy Odie. And there she is. And the next person you're going to meet is Kathy Aubin. Why do I always say that wrong? And the next person is Gary Bacon, who is the playwright. And of course, Nikki Taylor, our star. And Helen. Oh, Helen. Hello. How are you?
I'm well.
I'm good. All right. So what's the play we're doing again after everything? What's the play? Oh, yeah, it's Uncertainty, right? Yeah, it's Uncertainty, the name of the play. Yeah. Okay. So, Kathy, let me start with you. You play a very important role in this play. Could you tell me about it, please?
I get to play two roles in this play.
Oh.
But we'll let the audience, figure that out when they come.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this role because the character has a very interesting arc over the course of the play. And it's been really interesting to get to know her as a character and to see how she grows and changes over the course of that play. And I also really enjoy the relationship she has with her husband. That's been a really fun thing to play with as well.
Oh, nice. Kathy, how many plays have you been in?
Oh, gosh, a lot. When I first moved here from Colorado 10 years ago, I found my theater people as a way of making friends and getting settled. So I was in a whole bunch of plays back in Colorado and have been in quite a few here on the Cape as well.
Excellent. And Heather, you play the mean part in this. I'm just practical. That's true. So who do you
I'm pragmatic.
You play Prometheus, is that correct?
Yes, Prometheus is an overbearing lawyer.
District attorney, I believe, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I'm the one prosecuting God.
I know. And how do you feel about that?
It's interesting. I never really thought about it too much. I mean, it's fiction, but the thought process in this is really interesting for the characters and the whole arc of the play.
Do you feel that you're a Pontius Pilate-like person in this play?
Possibly, yeah. That would probably be a good analogy. I also think that in some ways, that I parallel the scientist at the beginning of the play, that character and then the lawyer sort of have a similar mindset.
Excellent. Well, and we have, she's really the star of the show. Nikki Taylor. Nikki, who do you play in this? What is your role in this play?
I play myself.
You play. You're not playing yourself. You're really not playing yourself.
No, the character is named after myself. I played Gary's sister.
Right. You are portraying Gary's sister,
yeah,
who is in real life has disabilities. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
A good way to say it. And you have disabilities.
Correct. Yes.
Well,
yes.
I'll tell you, they sure don't seem to slow you down.
Oh no, I don't.
No, you don't. So how are you enjoying? Are you enjoying doing this, or is it a pain in the ass?
I'm enjoying it. It's a different perspective for me. I'm usually somewhere else in the theater. Not usually on stage.
You're usually rounding up actors for me.
Yep. Yep.
It's so nice to have you in a role, though, where you get to be on stage. Helen, you're our stage manager.
I am
And what are you going to be doing for us backstage?
rounding up people for you.
It's like herding cats.
Yeah. Yep. It's a learning curve for me, but I'm having a great time.
Oh, that's great. Well, we have a good cast, that's for sure.
We do. They're fun.
And I do have with us Kathy Ullman, who is the president, El Presidente, of the Sandwich Arts Alliance. And Kathy, how are you feeling about doing all this theater stuff?
Oh my goodness. So first of all, I just want to let everyone know that this is a dream that we've been working on for a number of years, not just recently, in the idea that we wanted to do some kind of collaboration with Woods Hole Theater Company. The idea being, and we've talked about this over a while, couple of years, we just came out of the pandemic. I think Gary and a number of people from Woods Hole came and visited us, and we talked about what we could possibly do together. And here we are doing it, which is just wonderful because there are kind of two pathways that we love about theater. One is community theater, engaging with other companies, and that's exactly what this is. Rounding up folks who may or may not have ever been in theater before. I have to tell you something. Every single thing we've done in community theater has been amazing. I talked to people who were our local residents who were in a couple of our last productions, and they all say, I have not done theater since I was in high school or college, and that was the most fun thing I've done in so long. Do you have any more roles? So it's very uplifting. It's very exciting to see that not only are we collaborating, but we are also helping people discover a love that they had maybe a number of years ago before they started raising their families. Kathy Odie is a perfect example of that. The first time I ever met Kathy was at it was at a SAA strategic planning conference. She was the president at that time, and this is a couple of years ago. And the first thing she said to me is, I love theater. I love to be in performing arts. So you know what? This stays with you, and you look to find the places where you can fit yourself in and find something that's really lifts your spirit, helps you grow. All of it. It's wonderful. We're thrilled to be able to do this performance.
Well, it's fun to watch somebody, and I'll use Kathy again. We're talking about you, Kathy. It's fun to have somebody like Kathy in the show who has so much experience and brings it to the table, yet is still working on her craft and making, this particular character come to life and wondering about it and asking the director, me, questions that I don't really have the answer to. But, she's working on it, just like Heather, who hasn't been in a lot of things, but has been in some things on Cape Cod recently. Isn't that not correct? Yes. That is.
Yes. I was Marie in Calendar Girls.
That's right. Over at Katuitt, right?
Yes. No, actually, it was over at the Barnstable Comedy Club.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing, Heather. How come you came out to audition?
I took an improv class a few years ago, and it was on my bucket list to audition for a play, and I did not expect to get a part. And that was the first one. I got Marie, and it ended up being way bigger than I expected. And then I heard about the play, and I thought it sounded really different. And I like a thinking person's play. And this one I thought maybe would be a different part, but I'm still an overbearing character, so I know. Two plays and I'm typecast.
Well, no, definitely not. So I guess we ought to talk to the playwright a little bit here. So Henry, tell me, why did you write this play?
Well, first, the problem is that, I ran some tech companies and I got this media training. So first, I just want to say thank you to say what I need to say, which is thank you to everybody. This is a collaborative process. And the thing I love about theater is it's very much like it was in the technology company. To get a group of people together and everybody adds to the creative process every step. And that is just a blast. And it's such a privilege to work with everybody. What was your question?
My question was, why in the heck did you write this play?
It came out of my personal experience. I think most things do, right? I'm involved in a little company that's working in some physics problems. I have a disabled sibling, and I have struggled with my own views on religion, and all those things kind of came together. And when you write something like this, you start writing. At least everybody has a different process, but mine is I start to write, and I write myself into a box, and I say, I wonder how I'm going to get out of this. And I use it as a way to solve a problem for myself. And that's what I tried to do here. Well,
You certainly have written something that the audience is going to have to pay attention to.
Yeah, I hope my assumption, I work with the assumption that we have a really smart audience, and I think we really do on the Cape. I personally don't like to go to a performance that fed everything. I'd like to make it something that makes me think. So I hope this will make people think, and maybe not the way I think, but they'll make them think. And if that's what happens, that's good.
Kathy, you're a person who was, you've worked for churches in the past. You're not an ordained minister though, right?
No, that wasn't ever my calling. My calling was as a layperson in the church.
Okay. Right. So how do you feel as a layperson? Because there's a lot of questions in this play. There's questions, lots of questions about the existence of God, why God does what she does, all of those things.
Most of what I've done in the church has been faith formation or Christian education. And my love for that has always been, combined with not only working with other people and helping them along their journey, but growing and changing myself. And I hope that for the rest of my life, I'll be deepening my understanding of the divine and what that means and what is my relationship with whatever that is and the other people around me. So partly why I find this so interesting is that I've really had some evolution in my own understanding of who is God and how does God act in the world and what is my relationship to those things. That has changed for me over time and will, like I say, probably continue to change the rest of my life. And this play really invites people to examine their own beliefs about things. And it doesn't ask you, I don't think, this play asks you to take a position necessarily. It asks you to open up your mind and be open to possibilities. And I find that really interesting.
Well, and to just consider alternatives, I think. You're right. You're absolutely right. Nikki, and you get to be on stage some and off stage some. And you're playing a part that's pivotal because the parents are worried about you. Mm-hmm. Right. And why are they worried about you?
Going through life, they don't want anything to happen to me as somebody that has a disability of some sort. Right. They're protecting, overprotecting.
Yeah. Yeah. They sure are.
All right. Underestimating me as a person, my abilities.
In real life, has that ever happened to you where somebody might underestimate you? I know I've been underestimated. I have disabilities, but they're not visual.
Oh, yeah. It happens to me daily.
And don't you just love it when you're wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine so. Kathy Albin, how do you feel about doing a play that isn't run of the mill? This is a brand new play in development. Even though we're doing a little bit of sets and projections and a few costumes and very minimal props, but it's not like Love Letters that we did in the fall.
Right.
Everything
Right.
is, put together.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about it because this is, and a couple people, well, I would say Kathy, Odie in particular, when we were talking about what our mission would be with the Sandwich Arts Alliance, absolutely, if you look on our mission statement, it is a platform for new works. And that is so important because we can reproduce things that have been done over the years. We can do that. But what being a platform for new works means is that everyone has a chance to contribute. And it sort of reminds me, I kind of got a kick out of what Gary said, because I came from the startup world in high tech. That's where I worked my whole life. And what I learned from that 30-year career is that you get a small team, a really small team of 5 people together, and you can move mountains. And this is exactly what that is. You can move mountains with it. It takes a really, really small group of people who are committed to something that says, we're going to do something different. We're going to try something new. And we have no money. We have no experience in the venue that we're talking about, but we're going to go for it. And that's what this is. And it's very exciting. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled about it. Yeah.
Gary, how do you feel about that?
How lucky am I to have this cast? Did you listen to them?
Yeah, I actually listened to them. Yes.
They completely, totally understand the message that I'm trying to deliver. And I'm just so grateful. I mean, I'm just so grateful. And, I have to say that I'm going from here to another Zoom with a group of playwrights. We meet every Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness.
And all of them are dying to put their work up. I mean, there's a pile of people on the Cape that are real, and, a lot of it's a lot better than mine. So,
well, wait a minute, Gary. We didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I think we could.
Can you hook us up with them, Gary?
Absolutely. And the point is, though, seriously, that we can, to get the opportunity. But tree falls in the forest and nobody's there. I mean, that's what it feels like often when you're sitting alone writing.
So true.
Something happens that only can happen when you're driven to a performance. It's like a new product introduction. If we can go, Kathy, to our past, right? It's that only happens when you're going to have to go out there, and it's got to happen. And you get a group of people all working together, and it's just magical. It's wonderful.
Magical.
Helen, we have a lot of scenes in this play. You're stage manager. You have a lot of comings and goings in the dark. And how are you going to handle that?
We can do this.
You can do this. Now, you're going to have helpers, right?
Yeah. I'm going to have Heather's daughter a few nights, and I'm going to have my granddaughter a few nights.
Oh, excellent. That's great.
Yeah.
And isn't that great? It becomes a family thing that way. That's what theater is. It's a family.
It does. She's been asking to be involved. So when this opportunity came up, she jumped on it.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
Heather, so your daughter is going to be involved, and I know she's a playwright. You're a playwright too, or you're
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of playwrights on the screen right now. So, I mean, at least 2.
Yeah, and poor Gary was subject to my impromptu editing.
It was not, it was very, very helpful. It was very helpful. I mean, there's been changes made during the rehearsal process, and you can't, I don't know, I can't, maybe it's me, but I don't think it's just me. Every playwright I talk to, when you see it and somebody performs it, sometimes the character isn't exactly, I mean, you all know this. There's one rewrite and one new scene in this that really came from one of our actors that showed up. I don't want to overhang that because I'd like the audience to see that. But I mean, that character now forever in future performances is going to have the characteristics that actor brought to the play.
Right.
And I would not have thought of that. It happened there, right? And I appreciate the input. I mean, I need it.
Well, you're going to get it, I'm hoping, at the talkbacks after each of the
I
performances.
hope everybody's nice.
Well, the other thing, though, is, Kathy, you've brought a lot to this because you play, and we can give that away, you play two parts. You play a live person and you play a dream person who are not too far off of each other, yet they are. Can you explain how that works? How you differentiate between the two?
I'm still honestly kind of working on that part, and I'm welcoming any feedback that the director wants to offer.
Okay.
But
You're doing a good job.
well, I'm really enjoying it, and listening to you, Gary, it's just so true. This is one of the most creative processes I've ever been part of because it is so collaborative. And typically, when you're in a play, you're given a script and you're told these are the words that you say. And sometimes you're told this is how you say that. And if you say, but maybe we could, sometimes people are open to suggestions.
Right.
The words are the words, and you say those words if you want to be in the production, which you do. So it's been so fun. And I really appreciate how respectful Gary has been towards all of us as actors, that because some of it is challenging and it's difficult and there are some emotional moments there. But Gary and Melinda have both made it a safe environment where people can really, spread their wings a little bit.
Experiment a little bit.
Yes. And I've just so enjoyed this process. I love the other cast members. I think everyone is so talented and willing to just go for it, and give themselves to these roles, even though it's just a staged reading, enhanced stage reading, play in production, however we want to talk about that. It's not a finished product at the moment, but everyone is approaching it with deep dedication and commitment. So it's just been a heck of a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, as a director, you tend to, when you get a script and playwrights, they've written those words in the order they wrote them for a purpose, right? And I always say to the cast, it's about the words. Just learn your words. Know the story, learn the words, you'll be fine. What's interesting about this, though, and usually I say, well, Kathy or Heather or Nikki, as somebody comes up and says, I've got a suggestion, I go, yeah, okay, I'll take that under advisement. But for this one, I don't say that because I think it helps the play if we all work together on it. Gary has given us a beautiful and lovely story and a great foundation. Now, to express that story through that foundation, sometimes tweaks have to be made. And what's really great is that Gary has been very willing to make those tweaks. I think.
No, I have.
You didn't say anything.
And there's been a place, and I want to say this about Kathy, there were places in this that I wondered were going to work, and Kathy's made them work. I mean, I'm taking emotions up and down in various scenes. You know what I'm talking about. I can tell by watching your head right now. And I'm wondering whether we can do that rapidly and change. And my God, you're pulling it off. And that was so important to kind of to that particular character that you're playing. And I don't know how to describe this without telling people exactly what happened, but couples, when they get together, maybe I mean, maybe it's just me and my wife. I don't know. But, you might get upset with each other and that reaches a crescendo and then you kind of calm it down and then you come back and you're upset. And we do that a bit in this play. And Kathy, you're carrying that just.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It is awesome. It's awesome actually to watch everybody work together. It's awesome to watch Nikki work with Kathy and Patrick, who plays Kathy's husband in this. And the interaction between the family is very genuine. And if it wasn't genuine, and that's because of you, Nikki, you make it that way, of what you bring to that. Makes a huge difference, because you could just play it, like, I don't care about anything, but you don't play it that way. You play it very sincere. And you're also playing a person who has some other issues, which you don't have. And you're doing a fabulous job at that as well. Thank you.
And Nikki, I just want to say this in a public forum, and I know I've said it to you privately, that I just really appreciate that you're taking personal agency that you have about disabilities, or what society calls disability, and you're bringing that story to the stage, and you're willing to do that. Oh my God. And
it's wonderful.
It's brave. It's wonderful. And I hope it really affects people, because it really affects me.
Well, I think it's going to affect the audience and make them better people as well. I really do. I think that's what this play can do. Other than the fact that Heather is trying to throw God under the bus.
I know.
They're challenging.
I don't think she's trying to throw God under the bus. She's just challenging the assumptions.
Yes, Heather, may I say it is a perfect role for you. I'm very happy that you landed it.
I have to. I really like the science. I think a lot of people think it's completely a sort of. They might misconstrue that it's a religious piece, but it isn't. It's a lot more complicated than that, and the science in there is really exciting and fascinating to have that portrayed the way it is in a play. I mean, you just don't see that.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much. I have to wrap it up. See how fast it went.
Already?
Yes, already. Very, very fast. But I appreciate you with all our technical issues, people out there. We had many technical issues.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing this tonight on your time off. And again, I hope you all have your fuzzy slippers on. And we are going to have a lot of fun on April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd matinee at the matinee. I want everybody to come out and give your opinions about this play. We're going to have talkbacks. Tickets are on sale at Sandwich Arts Alliance. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate seeing you all here tonight.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, Melinda.
Thank you.
Wow, the cast, part of the cast of Uncertainty, the playwright, the stage manager, oh my gosh, what great people to work with. They are absolutely wonderful. And I hope you'll come and you'll help this new kind of art form, this new play that's in development. You give them your opinions, your ideas, and just think you'll be a part of something bigger than you, a part of art. Isn't that exciting? So anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversations.